Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm gamesplaining Little Factory. Little Factory looks like it's a descendant of Little Town, which is a game that I did a gamesplane for, I feel like it was a couple of years back now. And it just, artwork wise and everything about it looks like they're living in that same kind of space. This game is a game of just trading in essence. So there are 4 lines of cards. You start the game with a number of the bottom row. You're then trading cards from that bottom row to get next row elements. You're then trading those elements for elements in the next row up, and you can trade elements for stuff in the top line. The top line will give you buildings which go in front of you, which will give you points at the end of the game and can also be used. So if I've got these cards, I can trade them for this card, or if I've got these cards, I can trade them for points, etc. And the game finishes when someone has 10 points, and that's out of their cards and actual point tiles, or when all the point tiles disappear. Whoever has most points is the winner of the game. I kind of enjoyed this game. There's a lot of forward planning of, I want to get that card. In order to get that card, I need to have this product. In order to have that product, I'm going to need to transition through this product. So I need to get that. So I've got to start with that, to do that, to then trade in to get that card. There is also the benefit of being able to sell goods. And so if you have a good that's not going to do anything with the actual product that you've got in your hand, so it might be meat, for example, you can sell that good for whatever the money value of it is in the top, which might be 8, for example, and you can then pick up goods up to that same value. That might be one of the top row goods. It might be a couple of goods from the lower levels. There's a little funky rule to kind of talk about and explain and kind of understand, but when you're playing it, it makes perfect sense. That when you're selling stuff, if you can sell everything in your hand if you wish. But if you sell more than one card from your hand, you can only do it to pick up one card. Whereas if you sell one card from your hand, you can pick up as many different cards as make up that value. It's a little bit, okay, but when you're actually doing it, it makes sense. It makes sense to trade this one good for many goods, or trade many goods for one good. Just be really careful of kind of knowing that that's there. And the other rule to make sure you're aware of, I don't know if I even said it in the gameplay, simply because I didn't get to the point where it was a problem, is you have a hand limit of 7 cards, and that's a hard hand limit. That's not a, I can go to 8 cards to get rid of as long as I get rid of by the end of the turn. No, it's a hard hand limit of 7 cards. And so if you're getting to those limits, it can actually adjust what you're doing. I think in one of my plays, I sat on a couple of cards knowing that I can use those cards to get this, but in order to do this, I need to wait till another card comes out because I was working on one of the buildings that was in front of me. But that then made my other cards have to be limited to 5 other cards. And so there was just this little bit of thinking of, I'm filling up my hand really quickly in order to be able to do stuff in the future, but I've got to actually continue to do stuff now. The other thing that this game does, if you've got buildings in front of you, it enables you to action those buildings and then take your turn of trading cards around. And then if you've got other buildings that haven't been actioned, you can action them. So if I've got a trade down here, I've got the cards for that, I can do that, do a trade on the table, and then if I've now got the cards that I need for this building, I can now action that straight away. Each building can action once through your turn. Just keep that in mind as you're playing. It's really important to kind of have these fine detail things in mind as you're playing. I found this game quite easy, but a little bit of a, hang on, I need to do that too, and then I've got to wait. There's a really nice balance on this game in terms of how much thinking you need to do to get to where you need to get to. I think this one would work with slightly younger players. I think this game will also work with older gamers who really know what they're doing and can work systems, and just kind of, I would like to play with a group of older gamers on this one just to get a feel for how that actually plays through. I think I'll leave that there. Please go ahead and watch my other video. There is only one other video on this one. It's all Gamesplay, Gamesplanation in the same video. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you would like to be gamesplained, please shoot me an email to thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at the Gamesplainer to keep up to date with the games that I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.